Are you nervous about the fight?
I'm scared to death.
You don't look scared?
Well, you ain't supposed to.
Then you don't have to do it.
Yeah, well, I think I do.
Man, this beat makes me want to freestyle, but it wouldn't turn out too good, so I'm not gonna do it. Not even gonna attempt to do it.
No freestyle. No, nothing off the top.
No freestyle.
I can bust the line. I can bust the line or two. 1, 2, 1, 3 in the place to be. Just
Two
open
bros
your
and a
eyes.
bro in Miami.
Oh, nice.
Hey, we're freestyling. Welcome to Two Bros and a Bro. Can't freestyle, as you can see, but man, just a little bit. But hey, first of all, I from the bottom of my heart, and I could speak for the three of us, and you guys could say some words as well. But thank you to everybody that listened, that watched on YouTube. It was really cool because we came up with this idea to do this podcast and put it on YouTube and Apple and Spotify and right away we started seeing the views and the comments and the listeners. And it's really cool. And a lot of you came with constructive criticism, which I love as well, because episode 1, we want to improve. We want to give you guys what you want. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We didn't, we did this on a kind of like a goof, right? We're like, hey, let's give it a try. Let's give it a go. And we're happy that we got some support from our friends and family, and maybe some other people out there in. We'll get a chance to hear it soon,
And
too.
this is episode number 2.
That's right.
2.
Who does number 2 work for?
I was waiting
Number
for
2.
I was waiting for you to jump in on that.
Yeah, and for those watching or listening for the first time, we're a pop culture show. We're going to talk about sports and movies and music. And look, right off the bat, if you look at our logo right above me, we have Canes colors.
Yes,
and
sir.
These two guys came representing the Canes. I came representing Bryson DeChambeau and the Crushers, Live Golf. I took my son to golf right before this. But man, look, the Canes are playing very well.
Represent.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel better about this team this year than last year. And one main reason right off the top is defense.
Yeah, the defense this year, unlike any other year, and let's go back even the past 20, 25 years or so, is looking fantastic.
Are you saying the rebuilding years?
Well, ever since we joined the ACC, right? 2004, I think it was, we haven't done anything. Diddly squat. Even on the national level, we had a couple, years here with Mark Richt, 16 or 17, whenever it was. But yeah, the defense has definitely stepped up. But I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit there, Armando. I still got that Canes PTSD, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for the bottom to drop out.
I know.
And I hope it doesn't.
Well,
I didn't even want to go there, but yeah. Yes.
It's always in the back of our
I was
minds.
going to bring up the fact that we are the current state champs because, we've beaten the last 3 teams in state, USF, Florida, and Bethune Cookman's in Florida too, right?
Absolutely.
But
We got a big one coming up in
That's
2
right.
weeks. So
Yeah.
that can really make us state champs if we take care of that one. So
That's a big one. But look, to what I was saying, Mario brought in some defensive guys through the portal and through recruiting, which are paying dividends. We've seen a difference. We're not seeing we score and then the other team scores and then it's just like a back and forth, and God bless Cam Ward. Last year he had to go toe to toe. It was like Ron Lyle against George Foreman, which it was like rock'em sock'em. And this year we're seeing the offense could come back out, could score. We're running the ball more.
Yep.
We're seeing, and Lyle hasn't even been a factor since he got injured game 1, but we're seeing Fletcher and we're seeing Marty Brown. I mean, they look great running the ball.
they do. We actually look like one of those old school Big Ten teams where we're just going to pound it down your throat. And you could see these guys get like 2-3 yards past the line of scrimmage. And then you got the offensive lineman pushing them for another 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8
yeah,
yards.
I mean, the offensive lineman. You're
and-
talking
and-
about an NFL lineman.
Yes,
there.
we do.
So-
We have Markel Bell and Mayoga and all those guys, but they're just pushing them down the field. And you could feel that energy. When you're at the stadium, the crowd goes crazy when it's supposed to be a 3-yard pickup or a 4-yard pickup, and then the line pushes them for an additional 5 or 6.
I mean, I'm the biggest Beck critic, but so far he's kind of, done what he's supposed to be doing. We got a long season to go, but
managing. He's been a good manager of the
yeah.
game, and he stepped up in some games, you know. And this past
couple
game,
mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So.
exactly. It almost cost us, but like Armando, to your point again, that defense stepped up when they had to. And I was reading an article yesterday or today. I remember, you know, Ruben Bain, our top defensive lineman, is like number 5 in the Heisman voting or the Heisman odds right now, behind usually what is, you know, the Heisman goes to a running back or a quarterback or a receiver even, and Ruben Bain is like top 5 in the country right now.
I think last time there was a defensive player in the finals, it was Manti Te'o, some years ago against Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Catfish Teo?
Yeah,
Catfish. But Ruben Bain, so if you go strictly Heisman of best player in the nation, forget quarterback, wide receiver, and all that, Ruben Bain should be in the conversation.
he definitely is, and he's the highest graded guy according to, you know, all these metrics that all these, you know, sports junkies you know, put together. He's definitely up there. So let's see what happens. You know, they play the games for a reason. That's why they play the games, is the expression. Let's see where we go from here.
Well, I mean,
Top 5 pick in the draft, Ruben Bain.
I mean, depends the team that needs him, but yeah, definitely. He could definitely be a top 5 pick. You mentioned earlier a couple seconds ago, toe-to-toe.
Toe-to-toe.
I mean, let's just jump right into the next subject. Toe-to-toe. Canelo versus Crawford happened about a week ago.
Yep.
I think it was the highest watched fight in the last probably 20 years. I think they were looking at the numbers. They were saying like pay-per-view and all this other good stuff. They really brought in the viewers with the metrics that they're testing now. What'd you think of the fight?
Look, as you know, as far as views, it helped that it was on regular Netflix. You know, you have a subscription, you get to watch the fight. You don't need to put an additional $80, $90, which is what they're charging for a lot of these pay-per-views. Look, Terence Crawford is one of my favorite fighters. He's a great boxer. He is one of maybe 2 in my lifetime guys that could fight from the left-handed position and right-handed position just as well as the other. The other being Marvin Hagler, who's a Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions to fight Canelo.
Amazing.
Even 3, because he's a natural welterweight. At first, I was like, it might be a tall task for him. The day of the weigh-in, when I saw his physique and he looked bigger than Canelo, I was like, Crawford's winning this because there's no size advantage. And we saw in the fight, Crawford was able to outbox him. Canelo tried to bully him. He tried to pressure him. He landed his biggest shots and didn't even shake him. He didn't even hurt him once. Canelo got hit with the bigger shots in the fight.
Yeah,
right.
And Crawford, to me, well, my favorite part of the whole fight was that there was no lagging on Netflix for this one.
I know.
Fight
They were prepared. They were prepared for this one.
time. They had enough bandwidth, but I enjoyed that. But Crawford is so much, like you said, he's the same size, and he was so much. It seemed like he was so much faster. Not that it was like a sparring fight or anything like that, but it seemed like Crawford. And I don't want to say he was playing with him because he has a lot of respect for Canelo, but you could tell that Crawford was the elite fighter.
Well, Canelo's also older.
Canelo's
the draw.
Younger, but he's been fighting longer.
He's got 20 years experience.
Yeah.
He's been fighting since he was 15. He's 35. Crawford's 37, but Canelo has a lot more wear and tear.
Correct. That's what I meant.
And the one
he's older with fights.
The one criticism.
Yeah, I mean Canelo's got 63 fights.
Yeah. Or more.
Crawford's got 42. It's 20 fights. That's you're talking about half of Crawford's fights are on top of Canelo's back. That's not making any excuses. Like Crawford came out, he did what he was supposed to do. I mean, the biggest thing we should be talking about here is the purse.
Yeah, but before that, let me just say this: the one thing that for me, as a more of a fair weather boxing fan, the one criticism I do have when it's these lighter guys is that there's really, I know that some guys have knockout ability, but that's why I enjoy the heavyweights, because they land some bombs. And these guys were landing punches, but I was hoping to see a knockout or a knockdown at least.
Well,
that's my one criticism I have when you got the lighter fighters.
So here you go, Canelo, 60 something fights, Crawford 40 something fights. Combined, they have gone to the canvas. They have been knocked down 0 times.
Right.
0 times.
Yeah, but
none of them have been down. So and guys, by the way, if you guys hear something in the background, it might be my son. He's watching TV in the other room. But yeah, if you hear something.
To your point, so Canelo did have 63 fights, but he had 31 knockouts. I'm sorry, 39 knockouts. Crawford had 42 fights and 31 knockouts.
Yeah.
So like,
I didn't see it. That's
And-
what I'm saying.
and
I
look,
didn't
and-
see it. I mean, maybe because they're both great.
Yeah, and
you know?
and Crawford's a finisher. I mean, fighting against a guy who has never gone down, it's it's tough. But when he hurts people, I mean, there's nobody meaner in boxing. So kudos to Crawford. But to John's point, the purse,
oof.
150.
You need multiple
For Canelo.
You need multiple purses. Canelo 150 mil is what was reported. Crawford was somewhere around 50 mil, so 200 mil between the two. I mean, we're talking numbers. These are like crazy numbers.
Yep.
These are numbers that are like, I mean, boxing. I don't want to say boxing's back because boxing's never like left, but boxing is like always around. And then you have one of these huge fights, Jake Paul, whoever's out there now that are drawing this kind of money. That means people still want to watch boxing. You're a big boxing guy.
Yeah,
so.
I'm a boxing guy. And look, really quick before we go to the next topic of the show, Jake Paul and Tank Davis are going to fight here in Miami. They announced the undercard today. Some interesting fights. But I'll save you guys some grief because you guys are going to start arguing and some of the fans that may not be big on boxing are going to start asking like who's going to win the fight. It's an exhibition, guys. It's an exhibition. The only time I've ever seen an exhibition get serious was when Drago killed Apollo and he pushed a referee and Rocky didn't throw in the towel. I mean, that was a shit show. But this is an exhibition. Tank Davis is a 135-pounder. That's where he fights at lightweight. Jake Paul is a 200-pounder.
Yes.
Oh, he's going to fight at 195. Who cares? This is an exhibition. They're not going to hurt each other. It's fine. Look at it for the show. And I'm not hating on Jake Paul. I'm one of the rare boxing purists who does not hate on Jake Paul. I think he brings a lot of the youth to watch boxing. I think he takes the art serious. But more than that, this guy wants to make money. If you want to blame somebody, blame Tank Davis, who was fighting Lamont Roach. I thought he lost the fight. Could have fought the rematch. Could have fought Shakur Stevenson. Could have fought Teofimo Lopez. But he chose the bag, and he's fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition. And you know what? Good for him. He's making money. Yeah. So
everybody's looking for that payday, Armando.
I
I agree. And I saw them at the face-off. It wasn't even the weigh-in, and Jake Paul towers over this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Jake Paul was getting down like...
It's Drago versus Rocky. Yeah. I mean, so we don't know what's going to happen. Going to the money thing for 1 second, I looked it up, and just to compare another battling sport, which is like UFC.
Right.
Every fight that UFC had in 2025 doesn't amount to the amount of money that they made with this fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was 430 plus fights, and we're talking UFC, every UFC fight, every weekend, right?
Yeah.
There's a UFC fight. It doesn't equal the amount of money that they made with this fight.
And the funny part is, one of the promoters for this fight, for the Crawford Canelo fight, was Dana White.
That's right.
The UFC president.
Yes,
but
he was.
there's a difference there.
And look, you got Chelsea Clinton. I mean,
I feel like Lee Corso with the pencil. But the VMAs were couple of weeks ago. Look, I hear somebody singing over there that shouldn't be singing, but but look, he could have sang at the VMAs.
That's a good segue. That was right on point.
Because he's, Anderson's 8 years old, right? And some of these people, right, are gonna be some artists that he's gonna be seeing for the next I don't know how many years. We had some oldies there as well. But guys, look, I remember some of the old VMAs. I remember there was one in particular where Red Hot Chili Peppers performed, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. It was just like this really memorable VMA. And I'll start with Adrian, who's our elder,
the elder statesman.
The elder statesman of the group. We're not far behind, but do you know most of these people? Do you know? Let me see. Tate McRae.
Yeah, I was going to throw some names out to see.
DJ Snake, Sabrina Carpenter.
All thumbs down. I don't know any of these people.
Doja Cat.
I
know Doja Cat. My children listen. I know Billie
Eilish. You know Ricky Martin though.
La Vida Loca.
Do you know Young Blood?
The name sounds familiar, but really I don't. So
name sounds familiar.
Way to go, Young Blood.
Way to go.
That's all we know.
Calvin got a job.
But what do you think of the?
You know
of the
what?
VMAs?
I watched 0 minutes.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Of both the VMAs and what was it? The Emmys.
Well, the
That
Emmys
was-
is coming up in the next segment.
Yeah.
But yes.
So I watched 0 minutes of it.
So you have no.
Not interested.
opinion.
Don't have an opinion. Yeah, I'm like.
So you're saying over 50 does not watch the VMAs?
If I'm gonna represent the over 50 crowd, I don't know.
Well, let me tell you, it was actually the first time the VMAs have been on broadcast television. They were on CBS, so they have made their move from MTV. Obviously, MTV doesn't even show videos anymore.
What's MTV? What's MTV anymore, right?
Material TV. But yeah, the VMAs were on CBS for the first time in the history of the VMAs. I actually enjoyed it. I liked it. I thought it kind of, I related to it because like Armando was saying, they had a few awards. A couple of them were, for the first time ever, the Latin Icon Award, which did go to Ricky Martin.
And dude, when did Ricky Martin start morphing into Maluma? Looks like an older Maluma.
When they were both part of Menudo. So
He's like Maluma's older brother.
yeah, Mariah Carey got the Video Vanguard Award, which used to be a goof back in the day when I used to watch MTV, and now it's actually it's got some clout with it. Mariah Carey got that, and then Busta Rhymes got the Rock the Bells Visionary Award. So
I did see him perform.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I know Busta Rhymes. I know. I know
does
Busta
know.
Rhymes.
I mean, you know Mariah Carey. If I tell you some of the winners, you're gonna know all the artists. So it's not like something you don't know or who's around because music hasn't changed that much. It's the up and coming, the people that are starting to make some noise that you probably don't know about, like you were saying.
Right.
Tate
Sabrina
McRae,
Carpenter, Tate McRae.
Carpenter, correct. They're winners. Lady Gaga's around still. Bruno Mars is around.
Look, like Tate McRae, I compared to, for Adrian to understand, we're going back like 20, 30 years. She's like the new Britney Spears, I would say.
Wait,
but
Tate
she's
is a woman.
Tate McRae.
I'm thinking Tate is.
So you're thinking about like Tate Martell, the
I'm thinking
quarterback.
yeah, exactly.
But Tate McRae, she's actually a dancer, and could perform and could sing. She's super young, like I don't know, 21, 22 years old. But she's pretty good. Anna, my wife, listens to her music. And
I was gonna say our
Sabrina
kids,
Carpenter's young, and
Savannah, my
Espresso
daughter loves, Sabrina Carpenter. She loves Ariana Grande. These are the people that are out now that are like doing this music. By the way, they did a great job with production. It was not a boring show. It was one performance after another. Everyone it seemed like everyone was outdoing each other with these performances. It was like ridiculously amazing performances. So I felt like I had front row seats to a concert. Couple guys, Jelly Roll and
so my favorite from that group is Jelly Roll.
Okay,
Jelly Roll. He went from rap to country to Christian music. I mean, he's like a jack of all trades, and he's dropped 200 something pounds.
Well, I was gonna
say he went to WWE.
He performed. Did you see the live performance in Germany with Post Malone?
Yeah.
Post Malone's his Ozempic part, so it's like they look like the same guy.
They both have the face tattoos.
But Post Malone has the Ozempic shot, so he's a thinner
Jelly
guy.
Roll just performed at the Vatican. They had a concert at the Vatican. It was Andrea Bocelli, who fits Vatican. Then it was like Pharrell Williams, Clips, Jelly Roll.
The only Jelly Roll I know is
what's the Colombian girl's name? Why is her name escaping? No, not Shakira.
She's Colombian though, right?
Shakira won a couple awards as well.
The new Colombian girl.
Oh.
My God, the name is escaping me. Why? Well, she performed with Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, you're saying
Yes.
not at the VMAs.
No, at the Vatican.
Got it. The name will come to us.
Yeah, and she was pretty. What's it called? Covered up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Carol G.
Okay.
Carol G performed at the Vatican. But man, the VMAs, I agree with John. I mean, they weren't bad. A lot of these performers, I mean, we would recognize like Post Malone and all that. But
Lady Gaga's performance is amazing. She was actually at the VMAs. She won an award and then said, I have to leave because I have a concert at Madison Square Garden. And then they showed her live performance at Madison Square Garden. This technology is insane.
Yeah. Pretty
how
damn
you
cool.
Can do that. And the performance is actually pretty good too. So it's one of those, I enjoyed it. I thought the VMAs were amazing.
Look, in a little throwback, there was a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, and it was Aerosmith with Young Blood, who's a new rock and roll guy from England. He
definitely has the look.
He has the look. And Nuno Betancourt from Extreme. Love that guy. More Than Words, you know.
I remember that song.
Yeah. He was there. But, so they had the VMAs, and then they had the Emmys. And I think
Well,
the Emmys...
before we get to the Emmys, one more thing about the VMAs, because this bothered me. So there was an artist named Megan Maroney.
Okay, like Maroney Chevrolet. And...
no, not Maroney in that way, but like Moroney.
Okay.
And I'm watching this show, and she has a guitar with her name on it, but she's covering two of the strings. Obviously, she's playing the guitar. So I'm like, is it Moran or Moron? Like, why wouldn't you change her name?
So Megan Moron.
So again, I don't know if the younger generation's gonna like look at that and say you just.
See, I think I missed that performance, so I don't even know.
I missed all the performances, so okay.
But you also missed the Emmys.
I did.
and look, there were some big winners in the Emmys. I'll start with the studio.
Yes.
Seth Rogen, kudos to him. He won Best Writer, Best Director, Best Actor, Best everything. So the studio did well. John, you just watched it. What do you think of the show?
I thought it's definitely up his alley. You could see that like he's the type of person to write that type of show. So they use a lot of real actors. They use a lot of real situations, I feel. Obviously, it's scripted. I don't know to what degree it's scripted, but it was enjoyable, and I recommend it. So the studio, it did win a bunch of Emmys. The Pit also won a bunch of Emmys, which is a drama.
Noah Wiley. Is that like another hospital drama, like ER and
100%? It is.
Grey's Anatomy?
Imagine ER meets Grey's Anatomy meets 24, because it is a show about being in the pit in like the ER, and they go hour by hour. So again, it's like one of those shows that like you're on pins and needles the entire time. Noah Wiley, which was on ER, he actually won for Best Actor in a drama, and then the show won, and then the directing.
Does it ever happen that like they get to a point and they're like, hey, it's time to go for coffee?
Let's take a break. Let's take a nap.
Yeah, is there like a full
break.
episode where they're just drinking coffee the whole time?
I would recommend that, but no, there's definitely not. And then like the Grey's Anatomy aspect of it, they bring the personal lives into it. It's not just like people losing limbs and.
Dude, Grey's Anatomy is still on the air.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the longest running show.
Well, besides the
Simpsons, yeah.
Right? Isn't Simpsons number one? Yeah.
But another show that you're familiar with, Adrian, that won a bunch of awards was Severance. Mr. Milchick won.
Yes, he did.
Really?
Mr. Milchick won, and then Helly won.
She also won.
And she had her speech, and she's holding up the paper, and right behind it said like "Save me" or something like that. So they were talking about it on social media because it's like who was it? Was it Helena or was it Helly that gave the speech? And Anna was like, no, it was Helly giving the speech.
Wow. I did watch Severance the first season, loved it. I started to watch the second season, and I could just not get past the first episode.
Really?
Yeah, John Boy recommended that I continue, but I just gave up on it. I have been watching the studio, as you guys mentioned. I watch a few other shows, but I just could not get past the first episode of season 2, and I know it's a great show. I love season 1.
Well, season 2 takes a little bit of a twist. It goes off the deep end a little bit. I don't want to say it jumped the shark, if you guys know that reference.
Of course.
But
John Hine.
It took it to a different direction where I felt like I had to be on some type of medication or something to like understand what was happening in the last 2-3
psychedelics, mushrooms or something.
Yeah,
I like season 2, but there were a lot of episodes that I felt were a little bit. I'm not going to say unnecessary, but unnecessarily long. Like I didn't need. I mean, it's not a spoiler, but I didn't need a whole episode on the blonde lady that was the neighbor,
right?
Patricia Arquette's character.
Yes.
I didn't need a whole episode on her. Could have been, half the episode.
Multiple episodes.
But this guy did deserve it, Mr. Milchick. I think he's a great actor. He's funny. In the first season, he had the jazz dance that became popular, and in this one, he has like a band scene, which was like it broke social media as well. So kudos to him. And what I liked, he took his mom as his date to the award show, which was really really cool. So I love that show. A bunch of the other shows that won. There's some that I've seen. There's some that I haven't seen.
The actress from The Penguin, she won, which was great.
She's the mother from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, she won for Best Actress. Adolescence cleaned up.
Love that.
That's right.
That was a great show.
Adolescence.
Great. It was like a mini show, right? Like
it's a miniseries, 4 episodes.
Tell me the tit.
It was Tell Me the Tit.
Well, he won for Best Writing, Best Directing. I don't think he won for actor, but the main star of the son, he actually was the youngest. His name is Owen Cooper. He's the youngest Emmy winner in history. Okay. So I believe he was 15 years old. He won the Emmy for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
his speech was good too.
Let me tell you something. That show, if I can recommend a show right now, if we're talking about the Emmys, Adolescence, watch it. I'm not ashamed to say I cried at the end of that show. It gets deep, especially if you have a son. It's hard hitting. It's not like a fun show. It's one of those shows where it's showing struggles between, like being a dad,
growing up.
Being
it actually
a father,
shows the struggles that the kids go through growing up,
yeah.
and the challenges that they face, and not to get really serious because it's supposed to be an upbeat type of show, but
but I mean, it's one of those shows that I literally, like, my wife was looking at me. She goes, "Are you crying?" I'm like,
yes.
No, you're crying.
It's the wind. It's the wind.
No, it just hits you, and you're like, wow, like life happens, and everything can turn on a dime. It's like one of those things.
Well, there's this whole, we all went through it through our adolescence, and these kids are going through some different things now, especially with the social media and the advent of all that and everything that's available. So it's lasting forever. If you did something stupid when we were 12, 13, 14 years old, it's kind of over and done with. But here, like, once you film something like this show, for example, this might come back in 20 years to bite us on the ass.
It's going to be on there forever.
Well, speaking of filming, so one great aspect of Adolescence, here's one little extra fact. It was all filmed in one take.
Yep.
So each episode, if you haven't watched it and you go back and watch it, understand that each episode was filmed in one take, so it's not cutting. It always follows
one continuous camera,
100%, which is that much. It makes that show just that much more amazing. So I feel like that's why I got all the accolades, because it was like, man, it's a great show, it's a great miniseries, and it was done in a way that is innovative.
I heard that the guy that came up with that idea to just do one take was Bill O'Reilly.
Really?
Yeah, because he was like, "We'll do it live. We'll do it live."
I mean, is that really such a big deal?
Not Bill O'Reilly.
We're doing it right now. This is
that's a big deal because it's just one one continuous take. Like, even more than the one take, the fact that there's just one camera just following and going up the stairs, and I mean, it's like it's cool. As
my
a TV guy, it's like
my theory is that it's a drone, just because one of the episodes kind of feels like it has to be a drone, so I'm assuming it's a drone. But even with that, it's
dude,
just
and
insane.
what people are doing with drones now, it's outstanding. It's so freaking cool.
Before we get off the Emmys, we have to give a shout out because he's one of my favorite comedians now, Nate Bargatze. He was the host of the Emmys, and he actually made it fun to watch the Emmys. He was like using his comedy. He joked about that it was the 77th Emmy, so it wasn't that important that he was hosting because it's not the 80th. Or like, one of those milestone years, or the 75th. So he's like, and then he even used like the Boys and Girls Club, and he was like, if anybody goes over 45 seconds, he donated $100,000. He said, if anybody goes over 45 seconds, I'm taking off $1,000 for every second you go over your speech. And they ended up with like negative 42,000 at the end of the show. But then he obviously he made up for it. But great sport. I thought he did a great job hosting it.
Man, and I feel
no slaps involved.
I feel every time you go through these like Emmy or Academy Awards and all that, you go through that list, like the obituary, and you're like, wait, he died? There were like some big ones this year.
Oh yeah, and he actually joked about it too, which again, I think it was on the spot. It wasn't like pre-scripted. He goes, I just want to apologize that the in memoriam went a bit long this year. So he was like apologizing to the crowd because of that. But yeah, no, 100%. Like, they had people that I didn't even know that died. A lot of old time actors, people we grew up with, John Amos, a lot of directors. Chuck Woolery died.
Yeah,
I didn't know Chuck Woolery died.
2 and 2, right?
Yeah,
Mr. 2 and 2.
Back in 2 and 2, and Chuck Woolery and another a game show host died.
Gene Eubanks, you said, I think it was.
No, it was a different one. But yeah, two games. Like, what are the odds of that? I guess 2 and 2.
Yeah. There you go.
two and two. But look, we're gonna go to a topic that we were talking about. I remember we were at a tailgate for a Columbus football game, and we were with a bunch of guys, and we started mentioning some movies and all that, and we were like, "Oh yeah, that movie was great." And one of the guys looks at us and he's like, "Was it great?" And we're like, "Yeah." So look, there's a big difference. Or maybe sometimes we don't think there's a big difference, but there's a difference between great and memorable. You know, we might have watched a movie at some point in our life that just did it for us, but then we watch it years later and we're like, man, that movie wasn't that great. Which one's a movie that's, you know, that kind of like skids that line of great versus memorable, or maybe just doesn't do it for you anymore?
You know what? I've actually got two. I had a bunch of them when I went back to reassess my feelings on these movies. And the two that stuck out from my childhood that were great at the time, but I ended up watching them again with my kids, like now as an adult, just do not pass. They don't hold up in the test of time. And yeah, memorable, but not great. I'm going with the Goonies.
No, come on.
And Ghostbusters.
No.
Those are my two.
Okay, so Ghostbusters, I could agree with you. I could agree with you on Ghostbusters. Yeah. I have it on my list as memorable, not great.
Goonies was terrible.
No.
I like the Goonies.
Terrible.
I like the Goonies.
I know you do.
No,
Go back
Goonies,
and watch it. Have you watched it recently?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty recently.
I actually just watched it like last week or 2 weeks ago as well, because when it comes on, I watch it, and I still like, I love it. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a great cast.
Not for me.
Sean Austin plays a great role. Everyone else, it's just a great story for kids.
Great story. The execution, the performance, it just wasn't there for me as an adult. All right, just go give it a shot. Go give it a look.
And even Ghostbusters. I mean, I like Ghostbusters. I watched it with Anderson recently. You know, 1, 2, and some of the newer ones. But something that did catch my eye with Ghostbusters, which Anderson started cracking up. You know, I'm here thinking he's gonna be scared of these like
it has to be the special effects
Zool dogs, and he's like, dude, this looks so fake.
Exactly.
Like, what is this? You know, so that part I could.
It's almost like
understand.
the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. Like you're looking at it and you're like, come on, guys, we got to work on this. This has been dated now for about 40 years,
but it's memorable.
It's definitely memorable. I agree with you that Ghostbusters is memorable. I don't think it's great. I have some other movies, so I want you guys' opinions.
Okay.
So Star Wars, we're talking about the series, the original 3, which is 4, 5, 6, Star Wars series, 80s, great or memorable?
Man,
yeah.
At the time when I was a kid, look.
Whoa! We're not talking about as a kid. We're talking about now.
Don't kill me, guys. You know, watching and all that. I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
Okay. So I mean,
I'm
not a Star Wars guy to begin with, but looking back, speaking of special effects and things of that nature, now like if you see the Mandalorian and things that the stories that are coming out with on Disney Plus, you're taking this to a totally different level. I've personally gone back and watched the movies, and I feel like I want to show it to my son, but at the same time, I'm thinking the same thing you thought with Ghostbusters, like it's not going to hold up. So, what's your opinion, Adrian?
Well, if we're just basing it off of
no, I'm not. I'm saying what you think. What you think?
The story is still great to me. You know what
okay.
I mean? So I would still put it, the Star Wars trilogy, the original, the 4, 5, 6. I would still put it in the great category.
Go back and watch the acting.
Well, maybe it's the same thing that I'm saying about the Goonies. Yeah, I haven't recently watched it, so in my head, it's still a great movie. You know?
Okay.
Or a great series.
A couple more. Indiana Jones series.
I watched the first one recently, and I think
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I think that's a great movie.
Yes. So I mean, for me, I think if I was going to hold it to the test of time, I would put Indiana Jones, don't kill me, crowd, above Star Wars in the sense of like the comedic aspect. It's a timepiece, right? So it's a history type movie. It holds up, and actually part 2 I like better than 1, and I think I like part 3 better than part 2. After that, it gets a little, the Skull one and all the ones after that where they brought in Shia LaBeouf. It just kind of got a little screwy. But I feel like the 80s Indiana Jones held up. I think those are great movies.
I like them, but I've never never wanted to, nor will I ever go back to watch them. I'm not that big of a fan of the Indiana Jones
Then why did
series.
you volunteer to be on the show in Hollywood Studios?
Oh my God, you volunteered?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
what'd you do? What did they make you do?
5 seconds of fame. I was one of the
Henchman, or
no,
whatever.
I was the shopper.
that's
I was
right.
one of the shoppers in the market there. So
Okay, one more. E.T.
I think that's a great movie.
Do you? I'm going with memorable on that
I'm
one.
going with memorable on that one too, just because of all these things that we're saying, like the special effects and all that just doesn't hold up. The story, again, great story, great. You know, the writing is awesome in all these 80s movies. I think that's what we loved about them. But yeah, I got to go with memorable, not great.
Sticking with movies just for 1 second, Armando. I don't want you to change the subject. I know.
No. I was gonna say that. I mean, my memorable ones were just memorable. I mean, because like there's great movies that I love, and when we came up with this, there's a lot of movies that I go back and I'm still thinking they're great. You know, I've always thought Spaceballs was great. I've always thought Gangs of New York is great.
I agree
with
on both of those.
And
yeah.
Snatch and you know
Agreed.
Groundhog Day.
You put
all these movies that I love.
Same sentence as Gangs of New York.
Well, they both
Yes,
That's amazing.
absolutely. And Rick Moranis is going to be in the new one. But man,
if he's alive.
I watched a bunch of really crappy like B-list, C-list movies growing up that I thought were great, you know, as a kid. And then, you know, I watched later on, I'm like, what the hell? You know, and
Summer School.
dude, summer school is fun.
I agree.
It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to show it to my son because I think it's a fun movie. But one that, you know, when I was a kid, I used to enjoy quite a bit was Big Top Pee-wee, and you know, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that one holds. That one still holds. It's, you know, it's Pee-wee with all his quirks and all that. But Big Top Pee-wee is just bad.
Yeah, no, I mean
it's so bad.
I'm not sure the younger generation knows who Pee Wee is. Oh,
so I played what's it called, Pee Wee's Playhouse for my son, and he kind of looked at me and he was like, "What the hell did we just watch?" You know what? It did not hold up at all. And
one of those shows
and Paul Rubens was, dude. I mean, he was genius with that show and the movie and all that. And by the way, in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he brought an unknown director to direct that movie by the name of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And I think things have gone pretty well for that guy. But for as innovative as he was and original, man, Pee-wee's Playhouse does not hold up at all.
Talk about psychedelics.
Yes.
Dude.
I'm sure that's a totally different show.
I was on a sugar rush, like eating cookies. Oh my God, this is so
I'm
funny.
going to give you guys a quick rundown of movies that I think are great.
And we just say either great or memorable.
Great or memorable, but then I'm going to give you a catalyst to it, and I'll tell you something about that after. So, Pulp Fiction.
Great.
Okay. Good Will Hunting.
Great.
Jerry Maguire.
Great.
Memorable.
Okay. Saving Private Ryan.
Great.
The Sixth Sense.
Great.
Memorable.
Okay, so we got one memorable from each of you. Now, let me tell you a little something. In the 90s,
That's what I remember.
I think it was one of the first of its kind with the twist. If you haven't seen it, guess what?
What'd you tell when a little time out? Haley Joel Osment.
Oh my God.
When Happy Gilmore 2 came out, what'd you say that he looked like?
I don't want to say that again.
No, so Haley Joel Osment looks like Cher's daughter.
Yeah.
When she became a dude. That's what Haley Joel Osment looks like. But man, talk about a kid who, when, you know, he came out, like everybody's like, oh my God, you know, what a cute kid. You know, he's gonna be.
He definitely was.
And
great actor in that movie. I think he did.
And now he just plays the annoying, like short, like chubby guy, you know, and
Chaz Bono. That's the name.
Chaz Bono. Chaz Bono.
I didn't want to say.
Looks like Chaz.
Okay, so one thing about all the movies I just mentioned to you guys, they all lost Best Film at the Oscars.
Wow.
2, and here, Pulp Fiction lost to Forrest Gump. Okay, that's
great.
viable.
Agreed.
Good Will Hunting lost to Titanic. You know,
Great.
It was
I think.
That's
can't
fine.
really compare. Jerry Maguire lost to The English Patient.
Never saw it.
English Patient, great movie. Ray Fiennes. Saving Private Ryan lost to Shakespeare in Love.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah.
What other movies?
Okay.
You should have brought the list of what other movies were
Does
nominated.
it even
that year,
matter?
too.
Shakespeare in Love won. I don't think anybody's seen that movie if they haven't watched it in that year.
I haven't.
I've seen it, but and then Sixth Sense lost to American Beauty, which is again.
I love that movie.
Yes.
I
that
agree.
movie's great.
American Beauty holds up. It's one of those movies. So yeah, just because you don't win the best Oscar doesn't mean you don't have the best movie of the year. And I feel like if I was gonna watch some of these movies, I mean, yeah, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, we're talking all same level type greatness. If they're on, I'm watching them. Some of these movies, Shakespeare in Love, like, man.
So the most upset I've ever been at, now that you mentioned the Academy Awards, somebody losing or a movie losing, was actually Gangs of New York. Daniel Day-Lewis, I thought deserved the Oscar by a freaking mile. And Jack Nicholson won for About Schmidt that year. And look, Jack Nicholson's a great actor.
Yep.
But I think Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York may have been one of the best acting jobs I've ever seen in my entire life.
Plenty of great acting jobs. He's got 2 Oscars already.
That guy, every time that guy, he has a movie coming out now, which I'm dying to watch when it comes out. But Daniel Day-Lewis, to me, should win an Oscar for every movie he's ever been in. He's that good.
Great actor. He's really up there. And we, maybe on a future episode we could talk about like our top
10 actors,
top 5 or whatever. But
or top 10 actresses.
Yeah, but the Bill the Butcher role again, I gotta say it was one of his best roles of all time.
One of my favorite characters ever. And to think he's a method actor, so I could imagine him going into Starbucks as Bill the Butcher,
tapping on his eye with a knife and asking for a venti,
whatever it is.
Orange mocha frappuccino.
I want a chai latte. It's just like, what, sir? What is wrong with you? But Gangs of New York, I cannot play the entire movie for my son, who's right over there. But I play the first scene when Priest Valen is talking to Amsterdam and they pray to St. Michael and they're going out for battle. And then I just shut it off because he cannot watch the rest. But great movie, by the way.
Based
I think that's great and not memorable.
Right? No, the Gangs of New York. No, there's no question.
The dead rabbits that exist and the natives and all that. So there's a bar in New York I actually went into called the Dead Rabbits.
Okay,
nice.
Pretty cool. Right in the 5 points.
By the way, there's another small time actor known as Leonardo DiCaprio who's also
was in that movie. Yeah.
What did he do since then?
Just as a historical reference again, Tammany Hall was really a political movement in New York at the time, and they kind of
Mr. Professor strikes again.
Just want to drop that in there.
That's to throw the history lesson into every episode.
Tammany Hall. But before we go, we have a suggestion for you guys.
Before we get to the suggestions, don't you want to talk about your favorite restaurant? We didn't go into that last time.
We did not talk about the restaurant, but we could go through the restaurant pretty quick.
Sure. Adrian?
I got a favorite restaurant, but I thought we were going to talk about a restaurant that we
the last 30 days.
Last 30 days.
In the last 30 days, something that we've
mentioned
visited.
a restaurant you've been to that you
great
recommend.
or memorable.
Great or overrated, to be honest.
Well, this one I'm going to go with overrated because the first time I went to it a couple years ago was fantastic, and now the second time I went to it, the portions were smaller and the prices went up, and the quality wasn't there. I'm going with a restaurant by the name of Motek.
Oh wow!
Okay.
I was in the Aventura area for a little bit about a few weeks ago. And, wifey really wanted to go over there, and she was all in, and, it was for her birthday, actually. And it did not hold, it was memorable, but not great.
So, like, Mr. Westchestini would give it, 2 glasses or something like that?
Maybe a half a glass.
One cocoa bean.
There you go.
What's up to Mr. Westchestini, by the way?
That's right.
Our resident espresso martini expert.
That's right.
He's
looking for more reviews, by the way. So if you guys, have any reviews,
we'll give him a shout out on our social media.
Yeah.
John, what's your restaurant?
So I've been to this place a few times. I enjoyed it every time. The last time I went was actually for Miami Spice, and I thought it was phenomenal. The pricing was great. Perry's Steakhouse in Merrick. The pork chop was like this big.
I've never been. I need to go eat the pork chop.
Yes,
love pork chop.
Very good. I mean, on top of that, we doubled up on the pork, so we actually had the pork bites before we even had the pork chop. But everything was great, from the service to the pricing to everything. I recommend, if you haven't been to Perry's, go to Perry's. They have specials. They have every day has a different type of special. So we're not getting paid for this, by the way. I just recommend it. And then I have 2 actually that I've been to in the last month that I think are very overrated, and one that fell off, and then one that's overrated. So I've been to Bourbon Steak many times in the past in Aventura. The last time I went, I took the kids. was not up to par. So Bourbon Steak in Aventura, I think they lost something along the way. And then last but not least, I was just in Vegas. You guys know, about a couple weeks ago. And I finally went to apparently the best steakhouse in the country. They've been rated #1 steakhouse, I don't know how many years. Peter Luger's. That's the original one is in Brooklyn.
Lex Luger's brother.
Apparently they have the best steak in the country. And I'll be honest with you, was not impressed. Wifey was not impressed. Pricing was through the roof. You share a steak and it costs you $200. And it was not very good. It was not even okay. It was just not good. Wow. And then we went to the Backstreet Boys concert, so it all made up for it.
Well, for those that know me, I'm an extremely picky eater. I cannot eat seafood. If I eat seafood, I die. So I'm very selective with the restaurants I go to. So I'm not like too adventurous with food. But if I had to go, memorable and great, no. If I had to go one of my favorite restaurants to eat at, it's my old reliable El Novillo,
nice,
and that never gets old for me.
Good spot, yes.
The steak is great. The chimichurri and the gallo pinto are amazing. And then somebody recommended Tony's for me in New York, and I heard good things, and I mentioned it to a couple people, and they were like, Tony's, and I went to Tony's, and
it's one of those things. I guess it's on the taste buds. It's like, people recommend things all the time, but, a lot of these places are overrated. Yep.
Came extremely, recommended and did not like it. Did not like it at all. So, but, I'm content with like a Subway's, sub that I ate today. Very happy with that. But, so documentary. I'll start because I mentioned them earlier. Paul Rubens, there's a documentary on HBO Max, which used to be Max and HBO Max before. Now it's HBO Max again. But great documentary. It took me back to my childhood with Pee-wee. I grew up watching Pee-wee. A lot of stuff that I did not know about Pee-wee's life. We all knew about the arrest and then the allegations and all that. And it goes a little bit more into it. And what a loner he was. And, there's
I'm a loner, daddy.
Yeah, so there's that line from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I'm a loner, daddy, a rebel. Which, by the way, we started asking our wives to see if they knew, and they were mentioning, all these like, The Godfather? I'm like, yeah, that's definitely from The Godfather. But the Paul Rubens documentary, man, it was tough. It was sad. It made me happy at the same time, watching him do his thing. But yeah, it's it's one of those things you, as an adult now, you see what this guy that you watch as a kid. Yeah. And you're like, man, you finish the documentary and you're heartbroken, man, for Paul Rubens.
I mean, he put in the work. Like, if you look back at his life, I was younger, you were younger, you were a little older, Adrian, but we didn't realize the amount of work and talent that went into that character. It looks like a goofy, like whatever. Every child growing up was impersonating Pee-wee Herman. At one point or another, he was on like cereal, on Coke, on any product. He was on it because he became an icon. He became one of those people. And unfortunately, he passed away from cancer and didn't tell anybody. He kept it to himself. But yeah, I mean, talk about work ethic. Talk about a method actor. Yep. This guy became Pee-wee Herman. Like, nobody knew who Paul Rubens was.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit to that.
Yep.
There's a couple guys that do that in film and acting, and even WWF, and we could go into that into another episode. But yeah, I agree. He's one of those guys that we grew up with, and
That was one of my go-to dance moves, actually. The Pee-wee Herman dance.
The tequila?
There you go. Got many dance partners that way just by pulling out the little.
So what's your documentary?
The documentary that I'm recommending for our listening audience is the Charlie Sheen documentary.
AKA.
Yeah. I'm actually 2 episodes in, and I love it. It's just, to me, the amazing part about this is, like, he was one of the actors that we kind of grew up on as well. Some of the movies, the Major League movie that I love,
A Wild Thing.
And he did a couple movies that we grew up with. But the thing that stands out to me is I do not understand how this gentleman is still alive. all of the things,
By
things
the grace
that
of God, right?
that he's taken into his body from the drugs and the alcohol and all these things. It's just amazing that he's still around to tell his story. You know, this documentary, he's telling it first. He's giving first person accounts of the things that he went through.
I watched it.
So I'm recommending that for
Winning.
everybody. Yeah, there you go.
Winning.
Tiger blood and winning and all that stuff, right? So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
a fantastic
he got through
documentary.
the HIV. He got through this. I mean, now
Crazy.
I think it's undetectable. I don't think you haven't finished it.
I'm about to
I haven't
finish
finished it either.
Okay, so there is a couple. I don't want to say surprises at the end of it, but there's towards the end of it, he does give some revelations where he some things I didn't know about, and then some things he set straight. So I think he wanted to do this again. All these guys, Paul Rubens, Charlie Sheen, they're all narcissists. They're all it's about me. It's about me. I feel like it has to be be that successful. But I mean, I didn't know he had that many children either. He has like 4 kids.
Yeah.
Denise Richards, right? Don't they have
Denise
kids?
Richards has twins with him.
And one from when he was way younger.
Yeah, so
The
I
daughter,
think he has
yeah.
3 or 4 kids. But the idea is, I mean, this guy's been through it all, like you said, drugs, alcohol, partying. One quick fact that I did not know was that his party buddy was Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nicolas Coppola, like this guy was his go-to guy to party. And like looking back now, I'm like, that makes sense. Nick Cage, I mean, obviously you guys know who Nick Cage is. Great movies. Leaving Las Vegas, probably one of my favorite movies. I don't think it was that much of a stretch.
Yeah.
Thinking back now, where he's hanging with Charlie Sheen and this kind of thing. But I actually have one that's a little older, one that just came out like about a month ago. I missed the boat on it, so pun intended. It's called Amy Bradley's Missing. It's a true story about a girl that was on a cruise ship in 1998, and she disappeared. So the parents looked for her. I mean, watch it. It's 3 episodes, a quick watch. I recommend it. It's kind of scary. I go on cruises. I don't know if you've been on cruises the last couple of years. I'm taking the kids on a cruise next year, so pulling the leashes out. It's one of those. She was there 1 minute, next minute she was gone, and they've been looking for her for the last 28 years. They've had some stories. I even remember when I watched it, they had a Dr. Phil episode about her. They thought it was her. And I'm like, man, I didn't realize it. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I watched the documentary. I'm like, that's kind of scary. What happened? She didn't vanish in thin air. They're talking to different authorities. So it's one of those must watch. And then for the sports fans out there, it's America's Team. We all grew up with it.
It's a good one.
The Dallas Cowboys and the implosion that happened with their success and their downfall. So it was one of those.
Too many alphas, right? Too many alphas in the room.
Yeah, too many JJs. It was one of those documentaries. Growing up, you did not realize the amount of conflict that was going on, within the team and who is, the big man on campus.
A lot of egos, man.
Yeah,
a lot of egos.
Again, they were successful, but at the end of the day, it doesn't last. So it just goes to show.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, it's Jerry's world.
It is.
And that's it.
It was. And I mean, Jerry hasn't won anything for the last 25, 30 years.
It's still Jerry's world.
and he made it known just a few weeks ago when he got rid of Micah, right? He's like,
yeah,
I'm the man.
I'm the boss.
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite clips from that documentary, when he's giving his introductory press conference and he looks over, and I forget the guy's name. It was the GM president. It was the first one in Cowboys history. And he's like, I'm not just going to be the owner. I'm going to do this and this and this. And I want that guy's job too. And you see that guy, the close up of the guy looks like he's about to start crying. I'm like, man, that guy, Jerry was absolutely ruthless. I mean, he still is. He's still ruthless.
The P. Diddy of football.
Oh, whoa.
Somebody says that he looks like an older Yoda now.
I can see
Yeah,
that. I can see that.
Jerry Jones. But man, episode 2 is in the books.
In the books.
That was fun. A lot of things we talked about. So we're giving homework, and the homework is for Adrian. He needs to watch every Tate McRae and Sabrina Carpenter music video, so he can be prepared for the VMAs next year.
All right.
You're gonna do it?
I'll do it.
All right. This has been episode 2 of 2 Bros and a Bro.
2.